Ever wonder why a 10-minute scroll turns into 40? Why a single notification pulls your attention like gravity? Why your afternoon focus dissolves into a blur of GIFs and headlines? It's not laziness, and it's not just bad willpower. Brain is being nudged, and in many cases, rewired by social media. Today we'll trace how that happens, what gets sacrificed in the process, and exactly what to do to take back control. This is not a lecture, this is an action plan you can use starting today. Story: the afternoon CIO LAPs. Picture Ali, a mid-level manager who needs focus to write proposals. He begins his day energized, but around 2:30 p.m. he hits what he calls the afternoon collapse. His focus fractures. Words blur, and an empty urge to just check one thing becomes a 40-minute scroll binge. By the end of the day, Ali has fewer words, more stress, and less pride in his work. Ali's story is common, and it's not about him lacking discipline. It's about a biological and designed interaction. Our brain's reward system plus product designs, engineered to keep attention. Understanding the mechanics helps you stop blaming yourself and start acting with strategy. Part 1. The irresistible pull. Why we're athrocal. What the pleasure system actually does when you open social media. You're activating circuits. In the brain that evolved to signal rewards, its circuits use dopamine, a neurotransmitter linked to motivation, reward prediction, and learning. Dopamine spikes when we encounter novelty, unexpected rewards, or social approval. Like a new comment, a surprising meme. These are small rewards. Over time, the brain learns to expect them and starts seeking them out. Modern platforms are built around this loop. The frequent, unpredictable hits of validation trigger dopamine in a way that reinforces quick, repeated checking behavior. That very mechanism that helped our ancestors learn valuable patterns now encourages compulsive checking. Neuroscience reviews show that repeated engagement with these platform mechanics affects reward processing and can foster dependency-like patterns. PMC, fear of missing out, and social validation. Another conditioning factor is social validation and FOMO, the fear of missing out. Social media frames status updates, trending posts, and viral moments as time-sensitive. Missing a moment feels expensive emotionally, so we check more. Over time, this constant checking becomes automatic. Variable rewards. The most dangerous loop products use variable rewards. Not every tap yields the same payoff. Sometimes the feed gives you something brilliant. Other times it gives you nothing. That randomness is a powerful habit engine. We see variable reward systems in slot machines, and they are equally strong in feeds. Add personalized algorithms that learn what keeps you tapping. You get a loop that's hard to break. Part 2. Algorithmic reinforcement. How platforms keep you scrolling. Algorithms are optimized for attention. Platforms optimized for engagement, because engagement equals revenue. The tech stack combines behavioral science with machine learning models that predict which post will keep you scrolling. This design prioritizes time on platform, meaning attention is the product. This is not just a metaphor, academic and technical. Analyses show the deliberate use of habit-forming models in product design, from prompts to feedback loops to variable rewards. The hook model and other behavior design frameworks are explicitly applied in many apps to increase repeat usage. Studies and analyses show how these techniques are embedded in social media design. MDPI, personalization plus novelty equals persistent. Attention, the combination is potent. Personalization means the content suits your tastes. Novelty means it keeps surprising you. Together they keep attention from settling on one thing for long. This produces constant micro-distractibility. You look away from work to check one thing, and the feed pulls you into more. Part 3. Your brain's rewiring. The cognitive CIO's shorter attention spans and the cost to deep work when attention is regularly fractured. The ability to do deep, sustained work weakens. Multitasking and interrupted attention reduce working memory's capacity to hold ideas long enough to process them deeply. What used to be a 90-minute block of productive work now becomes a patchwork of short bursts, and task switching. That means fewer breakthrough ideas and more superficial completion. At the cognitive level, the brain learns the timeline of micro-rewards. It starts expecting quick stimulation, which reduces tolerance for longer, unbroken attention. While there is considerable debate about the degree and permanence of these changes, real-world productivity and creativity costs are tangible for many people. Memory changes. The rise of digital amnesia. We are outsourcing memory more than we used to. Studies decades ago already showed the Google effect, that people are less likely to retain facts they believe they can easily find online. This isn't just forgetfulness. It's a restructuring of what we store, a remembering, where the information lives rather than the information itself. That pattern has been called digital amnesia and is detectable in experimental research. Harvard scholar, this shift is not purely negative. It frees cognitive space for other things, but it also changes the way we form knowledge and make decisions. Durable knowledge and complex problem-solving rely on deeper connected memory. When memory becomes location-based, that network weakens. Erosion of critical thinking and susceptibility to misinformation. When attention flickers and reading time shortens, we skim rather than analyze. Skimming makes it easier to accept headlines and claims without evaluating evidence. That increases vulnerability to misinformation and reduces our ability to hold nuanced viewpoints. In an ecosystem tuned for quick feedback and binary emotional responses, critical thinking is collateral damage. Part 4. The emotional roller coaster. Mood and mental HELs, anxiety, depression, and social comparison. There is growing scientific evidence connecting problematic social media use with anxiety and depressive symptoms, especially among younger users. Large systematic reviews and meta-analyses find small but reliable associations between heavy social media use and higher levels of depression and anxiety. At minimum, heavy use is a risk factor among many others. ScienceDirect. Why? Part of it is social comparison. We often evaluate ourselves with respect to curated highlight reels, other people's edited successes, bodies, and relationships. When your baseline of comparison is a set of happiness highlights, your own life can feel duller, leading to negative emotion loops, sleep disruption, and cognitive consequences if we don't feel immediate mood changes. Social media can disrupt sleep. Late-night scrolling exposes the brain to light and emotional arousal, both of which hinder sleep onset and quality. Sleep troubles then worsen attention, mood, and memory, creating a negative feedback loop. Part 5. Breaking the cycle. Practical. Brain hacks. This is the part most people wait for. The research shows that change is possible. Intervention studies and experiments reveal that reducing screen time and restructuring habits helps mood, sleep, and attention. One randomized study showed measurable improvements in mental health after structured screen time reduction. PMC below are practical, science-informed steps to reclaim your attention and reset your relationship with social media. Hack 1. The first-minute rule. Use immediately. When you feel the urge to open an app, wait 60 seconds. Use a physical prompt. Breathe, stretch, or write one sentence about what you plan to do next. Most automatic urges fade in a minute. This simple gap interrupts automaticity and creates room for choice. Hack. To create friction, make the behavior harder for low-value scrolls. Move apps off your home screen. Log out after each session. Use a simple password manager. So re-entry has a tiny friction cost. Small barriers reduce impulsive tapping enormously. Hack 3. Redesign your environment for deep focus. Set strict location-based rules. Phone-free bedroom. Phone in a different room when working or during meals. Use physical signals like a covered phone bowl to interrupt the habit loop. Designate explicit blocks for phone checks, for example. 10-minute windows so your brain learns predictable access times. Hack 4. Use scheduled, intentional windows of consumption. Schedule 2 or 3 short social hours per day and only allow social media in those windows. The scarcity paradoxically reduces compulsive checking and makes your social time more intentional. Hack 5. Replace the dopamine hit with healthier micro-rewards plan, micro-activities that give small, real rewards. A quick walk, a 1-minute breathing exercise, a glass of water, or a single line of a favorite poem. Replace the illusionary reward with a real bodily or social reward that's under your control. Hack 6. Train attention, deliberately build attention like a muscle. Start with focused work intervals, 25 minutes of single-task work followed by a 5-minute break, Pomodoro. Gradually extend to 50/10ths or 90/20ths as tolerance builds. Practice meditation or simple breath attention exercises for 5 to 10 minutes daily. These increase your ability to sustain attention in non-digital contexts. Hack 7. Do a structured digital detox and then gradual reintroduction. Research shows that structured reductions in screen time can produce small to medium improvements in mood, sleep, and stress. A short, proven approach is to reduce non-essential screen time for 2 to 3 weeks and measure subjective improvements. Use this period to practice the other hacks and to rebuild offline routines. PMC Part 6. The 21-day reboot. A practical PL in here is a 21-day, step-by-step plan that combines the previous hacks into a reproducible routine. Week 1. Awareness and friction, day 1. Track. Install a screen time tracker and log baseline use. Day 2 to 4. Add friction, move apps, log out, set one app to phone only during work. Day 5 to 7. Introduce the first minute rule and a 25-minute Pomodoro during work hours. Week 2. Reduction and replacement. Day 8 to 10. Reduce non-essential social use by 25%. Replace with planned micro-rewards. Day 11-14. Establish 2 social windows and make meals and mornings phone-free. Start 5 minutes of focused breath practice daily. Week 3. Skill building. In reintroduction, day 15 to 17, extend deep work intervals to 50 minutes. Keep a physical notebook for ideas. Day 18 to 21. Review data from your screen time tracker. Set a sustainable long-term limit. Reintroduce any social usage you want, but under rules and windows. Measure progress, note mood, sleep hours, perceived focus, and actual work output. If you see improvement, and many people do, make the sustainable practices part of your routine. Part 7. Using social media intentionally. Building. RECLA and CI social media is not inherently evil. It offers connection, learning, and opportunities. The goal is not abstinence, but intentional use. Convert the platforms from habit engines into tools. Practical rules for intentional use. Follow fewer creators and more long-form resources. Turn off non-essential notifications. Use lists and folders to funnel content into intentional streams. Set purpose before opening an app. I will check X for 10 minutes to do Y. Regularly audit your follows and remove accounts that trigger comparison or negative emotion. Over time, you'll recalibrate reward expectations and your brain will adapt. Habits are reversible. Interventions that reduce screen time often show improvements in mood and sleep, even after short periods of structured reduction. Asterisk. Let's recap. Social media is engineered to capture attention through dopamine-linked reward circuits and algorithmic reinforcement. That design can shrink our attention windows, change memory habits, and subtly increase emotional risks like anxiety and social comparison. But the story isn't one of helplessness. Small, consistent actions, adding friction, scheduling windows, building attention muscle, and doing a short detox work. The science shows measurable benefits when we reduce habit-driven use. If you want one single action to start with, set a 48-hour experiment. Move your most used app to a folder, switch off notifications, and enforce a phone-free meal and sleep. Buffer. Track your mood and output. If you notice even subtle improvements, that's momentum. If this video helped, do this right now. Like the video, it supports independent, research-based content. Subscribe and turn on notifications to get new content about focus and digital well-being. In the comments, type 48H if you'll try the 48-hour experiment, and tell us which app you'll move. I'll reply to serious attempts. Share the video with one friend who's always just checking during work.